Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Second Shelf and to another review of a book shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction. If you follow my channel, you know that I promised that I will review all 6 shortlisted books, and I already reviewed 2, the book by Patricia Lockwood and A Transcendent Kingdom. And I will leave links to both these reviews down below. If you are interested, you can check them out. And today, the third book in the review series is Claire Fuller, Unsettled Ground. Claire Fuller is a UK author, and I read 2 previous books. I think this is her 5th novel. I have read 2 previous books by her, Swimming Lessons and Bitter Orange, and I liked both of them quite a bit. I thought they were really good, also plot books a little bit. So I was looking forward to this one, and it didn't disappoint. I have some nitpicking to do, of course. You know me, I'm always nitpicking. But overall, I thought this was a good book. The book is set in rural England. The main characters is a family of 3 siblings, Julius and Jeannie, 51 years old, and their mother. They live together, and the book opens when the mother unexpectedly dies very suddenly from a stroke. And then the siblings have to fend for themselves. Before I go on, like it says in the show note, there will be some plot spoilers in this video. So if you haven't read the book, planning on reading it, and don't want to know anything except for the premise, you should probably stop now and watch it once you read it. So after the mother died, the siblings all of a sudden, like I said, have to fend for themselves. I mean, mind you, they are 51 years old. So it's already a bit weird. They live a very simple life. They grow vegetables. They hardly have any friends or acquaintances or contacts with people who live in the village or in the neighborhood. Jeannie was kept at home and homeschooled because her mother said that she had a heart condition, so she couldn't go to school. So it's a I don't want to use the word gothic because that gives maybe the wrong impression, but it is kind of a weird setting. And it's certainly not, this kind of romanticized rural life in the book. It's quite a harsh life, first of all, but also it has these kind of weird edges to it with this particular family. So once the mother is dead, it turns out that there might be outstanding rent for the cottage, and they have no money. There is no money left by the mother, and so they are evicted. They have to live in this dilapidated sort of caravan. And then slowly but surely they find out, the background of what happened and why they live in that cottage and who the father may be, and more about her mother's life, their mother's life. And also the relationship between the siblings changes quite a bit towards the end of the book. I will not spoil that, what happened and why the relationship changed, but it will change. What I definitely liked a lot about the book, first of all, is the writing. I really enjoy Claire Fuller's writing style. It's lyrical style of telling the story without being, overly into your face with beautiful phrases or metaphors or what. It's just a really good writer at work, but the language is not something that is distracting me from the story, if you know what I mean. And I also really enjoyed that, as I said in the beginning, that this is a book about a rural setting, and it's not romanticized at all. You have these books where people live in the country, and the weather is beautiful, and the sun is shining, and they grow vegetables, and they taste fantastic, and everybody is singing and dancing, in the garden. That's not the book here. And I think this is more realistic if it comes to rural life than many of these romanticized stories. So that's the second point that I really enjoyed. And the third one is that I enjoyed the fact that the main protagonists were middle-aged people, the siblings being 51. They have one or two acquaintances of you could say friends. So it's not a book about young people. And me being an elderly woman myself, I always enjoy that when you read about different protagonists and not your typical 30-something couple with 1.5 children. So I think that makes it interesting. What my nitpicking critique is that I did not find the plot that well crafted. It was a bit predictable, in the beginning that the father is out of the picture, and that if you read mysteries, this is not a mystery, don't get me wrong, but if you read mysteries, you will probably know after 25 or 35 pages where this is going plot-wise. But on the other hand, I don't think that this is a book that you should read for the plot. And so it's more my subjective issue, because I am a really plot-oriented reader. And if there is I can read a book without a plot, no problem. But if there is a plot, that's where my focus goes automatically. And I don't think that this approach does the book justice, because it's much more about these two characters and their circle of friends, acquaintances, people in the village, the landowner who plays an important role. So I guess that it might be that I'm just overly critical when it comes to plot issues, and I just don't appreciate it that much if I feel that a plot is rather predictable. But again, you probably shouldn't read this book for the plot. But overall, if you want to talk in Goodreads terms, I gave the book 4 stars, and you know me, I'm not, if a book has 4 stars on Goodreads, I thought it was a good book, a really, really good book. And I don't think this book will win, by the way, because it's maybe too not edgy enough if you compare it with the Lockwood book about Twitter. I mean, I didn't like that book that much, but it's something different. But on the other hand, the writing is good. There is a story there, and it tells me something about rural life and people, over the age of 45. So I really enjoyed that. Anyway, if you like this kind of setting and story, I can certainly recommend it. If you have read it, I'm very interested to hear what you made of it. So this was number 3 in the series. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, I'm looking forward to your comments, and I'll see you all soon in the next one.